Good morning, guys. It's a pleasure to talk to you on such Monday afternoon. Today, actually, I'm just going to touch upon really the life cycle of a startup. Every startup has got a life cycle, typically through which it goes through. I have been a part of two startups, and I think I experienced those touch points or those periods of a life cycle over those two startups, and more or less they fall into some kind of a groups or some kind of a stage of a business. Now, let me just give you some perspective as to what I experience and what I feel is really a life cycle of a startup, and what are the stages into it, and what normally, typically, as an entrepreneur, you would really encounter into it. Let's start with the first, really, the stage of a startup, which is really it's idea to seed capital. What I mean by idea to seed capital is that you start with the idea, you are trying up with the idea, you have actually built upon something by using either a particular pain point, you are trying to address some issues, and then you have built upon the idea. This is particularly a period where you keep experimenting, you are either building a technology platform, or you are actually trying to create some kind of a marketplace, you are developing a product, you are trying to test the product. This is the stage where you actually go through a lot of initial legwork, into which you really reach to a stage of a POC, which is really nothing but a proof of concept. When I say a proof of concept, it's really a product which is ready for a commercial launch. I mean, that's really the stage where, I would say our idea is really translated into a tangible product or a service. Normally, you would tend to look for a seed capital, because the way you start up, the way you have a capital which is really going to probably last you till the POC stage, and that's the time when you really look around and start looking around for seed capital to take the business further. The second stage really would come, which is really from seed capital to Series A capital. Seed capital to Series A capital normally would really, you would encounter a stage where product is out into the commercial marketplace. It's really getting tested by the consumers, you are trying to see the results, but at the same time you are also actually going to get a lot of feedback from the consumer about the product, what is there being into the market. You are going to get some positive feedback, you are going to see negative feedback. Probably this is a stage where you may go back a little bit to the drawing board and try to see whether you can actually change a little bit, or you can answer some questions or queries from the market or from the consumers and try to see and probably define it more and more, or probably make it more sharper. You sharpen the focus of the product and you actually take it really to the proper teaching. And that's the time when you also actually work upon a different kind of aspects of the business as well. You are at a stage where you are trying to build upon a team. You are at a stage where you are also getting people into the company. You are trying to see what kind of systems you are going to get. But I think the more focus predominantly is going to be on the product. The third stage, I would say, really is a Series A capital to growth capital. By the time you are through with the second stage, you have already attracted the Series A capital, which is really a serious capital into the business. This is the capital which is going to take the business to the growth stage. This is the capital where you are going to work on multiple aspects of the business. When I say multiple aspects, it is not only the product, it's the product, it's the consumer, it's the marketing, it's the people, it's the systems into the company. All these aspects are going to be very critical, and they are going to need your attention all along in a very equal importance. You are also going to see as to how your product is going to perform into the market. You are going to see what is the consumer's reaction, but more importantly, what kind of people you have. You try to get the series, with the Series A capital, probably you have enough capital in your pocket to get damn good talent from the market for your company. You can also attract good systems. You can do a little bit of R&D. All these aspects actually make it a very interesting phase. This phase I would always count as a very fast pace, because everything is happening at a very fast. Your product is getting picked up because it's the early stage. Probably you are operating in an environment where there are not many players, so it is getting a lot of traction. You are having people on board, you are going through the motions of training, the building of teams. You are creating the essential systems into the company, which is in terms of your MIS, your IT, your any other systems probably. You are also working very hard on a marketing piece of it, because that's what it is. You are also trying to build a brand, because this is the capital which is going to actually also help you in that. This is a most exciting period where you always feel that yes, it is taking up, it's working up. I mean, this is probably the stage where entrepreneur has got a lot of confidence on his product, and he feels yes, it's heading towards a success, and probably I have cracked it. Maybe it's a so-called notion in the mind that I have cracked it. But the real challenge is going to come the next. The next stage which I am going to talk really is about, or which I feel is a growth capital to a fully ripe business. This is the capital which normally is very large in terms of the volume. This is the serious capital in the business. Here the investors are also very serious about the growth. Investors are very, very careful and watching the progress of the company. This is the period where suddenly you as an entrepreneur will feel the speed or the pace of business has slowed down. Why? Because your product probably has reached to a stage where it has met with its competition. It has started facing a little bit of resistance from the market. Probably there are new players coming into the market. They are trying to eat away your share and stuff like that. So this is the period where multiple challenges are going to come. This is the period where probably systems is going to be a challenge. This is the period where manpower is going to be the challenge. This is the period where creation of brand is going to be a problem. But this is the period, most importantly, is the time when an entrepreneur would start looking at his numbers, his top line, his bottom line, his cost, because they would start creating a real dent into the business. This is a period where investors as well as entrepreneurs would look for a hockey stick into it. This is the period where he is going to concentrate on R&D. Probably there are more products on the drawing board where his attention is required. This is the most challenging period, but this is also the period where the startup would make it or break it. This is the period where sure shot it would be heading towards success if it is executed properly. I would also say that this is the period where the capital is very large and it has to be deployed in a very efficient and effective manner. Probably from the growth capital, it would go to an IPO or a sale, which is a very logical conclusion for any startup. This is the period where you have all your compliances in place. This is the period where you have all your systems are in place, your team is in place, your product is doing very well. In this stage, predominantly one would start thinking, okay, what next? Either I would really like to launch a new series of products, or probably I would really look at it. I mean, by that time, the startup would have already ended up being around for 4 to 5 years, and maybe investors or maybe the entrepreneurs would start looking at a situation where either they want to really scale up, they want to grow, probably international, probably look for more JVs, mergers, acquisitions, and strategic alliances. Overall, I think the entire journey probably can be divided into this particular stages, and it would go through it. It's a very exciting thing. I can't say that every startup is going to follow the same kind of a structure or the same kind of a life cycle, but yes, maybe a few percentages plus minus it would really encounter. Every stage has its own challenges and excitement, but if executed properly, it would really create a nice, decent, successful startup. Yes, I would also like to touch upon on one point is that in the last two stages, a CFO plays a very predominant role. A CFO in the startup is really not a CFO, but he is a business partner. He is also a sort of an entrepreneur, and he is the guy who's going to work along with the CEO to ensure that business is on track, the numbers are in place, and he's going to ask a lot of uncomfortable questions, a lot of difficult questions, but they are from the point of view whether the product is viable, whether the strategy is viable, whether it should be done, it should not be done. So I think in the end, really, the core A team, the CFO, CEO and CEO probably plays a very big role. And at a stage where I would always advocate somewhere around Series A, you should get a serious CFO on board to work upon. I think that is all what probably I would say as a life cycle of a startup. And I think I have touched upon something. It's been nice talking to you. Wonderful. Thank you very much.